Danny, was Jason Tatum the player you would have picked with a number one pick overall? And if so, how much did you have him ranked ahead of everyone else?
Yes, we would have picked him with the first pick. But it was, the draft was very even, we felt, at the top, all the way through maybe 5 or 6. And it was very difficult. There was a lot of players we liked in this year's draft.
And why did you pick him? What did you like about him?
We like his size and length and rebounding and shooting, intelligence, character. I mean, there's a lot to like about Jason. He's going to be a terrific player, as are the other group of guys as well, drafted up high in this draft.
Danny, we always like to talk about fit and everything else. He and Jaylen Brown, a couple of forwards, wings. I'm not even sure how we classify players anymore, but do you see those guys being able to sort of play together and complement each other?
Yeah, I think they do. I think that we're all seeing the game, the way the game has evolved, and you really can't have too many versatile players that can play multiple defensive positions. And I think that we, in Jason and in Shemi and Kadeem Allen and Jabari Bird, they all sort of fit that category. They can, we have the three of them are swing or wing players, and Shemi can play some of the 4, and Jason can play some of the 4, we think, in time. That's the way the game is headed.
I'll just sneak in a second one here if I can. Semi, a lot of mocks had him sort of toward the end of the first round. Were you surprised that he was there at 37? And what did you like about his game?
We were very excited that he was still there for us. We're big fans. He's a great kid and has a great work ethic, and again, very high character. He can shoot, and we needed a guy like him. Sometimes when we didn't have a guy like Jay Crowder, it got thin at those positions, and he gives us more depth with a 245-pound body that can make threes.
Danny, there were reports going into the draft that you guys were looking to acquire Kristaps Porzingis from the Knicks. How close did that deal get to going down, and what were the roadblocks that prevented it from?
I don't comment on trade rumors. I will say this, that it was a little blown out of proportion, but I'll just leave it at that. A lot more talk by you guys.
Not to talk about any specific trade rumor, but do you consider your trading period over, or could there still be, trades you pursue as you head into free agency?
Oh yeah, no, I think July is the busiest time of the year, and so we anticipate being very active and continuing to try to improve our roster. Wake up, man! You're like falling asleep.
No. You've made trades, big trades around draft time, last championship. Were you considering making a move? Is that, you...
Was I considering making a move?
Well,
Is that your question?
You're going broke. You've been known to get champion, like Minnesota went for veteran. Is that something that you had as part of your thinking?
Sure, we looked at whenever there's good players that are available, and we listen very closely to what the offers are. Sure.
Did it happen tonight?
Yeah, there was a lot of discussion. I mean, listen, you guys, it's a very active time. I mean, they're just on the phone constantly, talking with every team and about all players, and it goes very fast. But yeah, there's a lot of conversation all the time around draft.
Danny, when it comes to, again, just the trades and moves you guys can make this summer, how much does it factor in when you're balancing when to make those moves, just keeping that salary cap space open you guys have enabled for yourself for the summer, just in terms of matching salaries, and maybe is it easier for you guys to make a trade later in the summer after you've used that salary cap space?
That's a good question, Brian. I think that, that's it. Both he has its benefits to do it before and benefits to do it after. So it certainly hasn't closed a window that we didn't do it tonight. There's still a window open for trade opportunities for us in July. Do I have to?
Hi, Danny. Good to see
Gary?
you.
Did you write something bad about me recently?
No, I never write
Okay.
anything bad about you, Danny. Are you a better team?
Somebody told me something.
Yeah, because you don't read.
Of course, I
know.
never read it.
Yeah,
but
you never read the Globe. Are you a better team than you were 3 hours ago?
Of course. Yeah.
And the salary cap adjustment that's lower than everyone thought it would be. How does it affect you guys?
That hurt a little bit.
A little bit?
Yeah. Little sting, but we've been preparing for a long time, and but that's going to make it a little more challenging.
You'll have to shuffle some roster guys, make some moves. You'll probably have to make an extra move.
Yeah, we'll be able to fix it.
Okay.
Yeah, we're in foul trouble right now, but we'll be back. Back in the second half. Amanda, you just sit there or what?
I'm just listening.
Oh. Seriously, that's all the equipment you can afford?
It's late, Danny. That's all I got right now. Better wrap this up. You're getting tough on these guys.
I'm enjoying the show. In discussions you've had with other teams, do you feel like they're asking more out of you guys than they are out of other teams in potential negotiations because of the amount of assets you have?
I think there's some truth in that. I think you're spot on there a little bit. I mean, I know that when I'm trying to do deals with teams and I'm looking at, I'm going to call that team because they have something I'm real excited about. Yeah, I think that people around the league know the things that we have, and I think they are asking for some of our prime real estate.
Was that a hurdle in getting things done over the last few days?
I don't know. I think over the last few trading periods, I think it's been a little bit of a hurdle, but bottom line is we just have to do the deals that we really believe in, and I think our team is on board, the ones that we turn down and the ones that we pursue longer and think more about, and I think that we're all on the same page, so we'll just continue to find the right deals.
Danny, on lottery night when you guys got the #1 overall pick, was this a situation that you right away kind of viewed as a best case scenario? Did you view Jason that night, because you've been working on this stuff forever, did you view Jason that night as a guy who was going to be your #1 target and then maybe get an extra pick out of it down the road, or is it something that kind of evolved?
The thought crossed my mind before the lottery, because I do follow these kids for the last couple of years, and but I didn't know. I didn't know what would evolve, and but yeah, Jason was one of the players, one of a handful of players that we were really high on and excited about.
Did you decide on Jason yesterday, today? Was there deliberations? Did you go back and forth with him and Josh? And was there some type of late night workout with Josh last night? Mystery workout? Can you take us through the decision making over the last 24 hours?
Never talked with Josh. No one in our organization did. I know someone wrote that was different, but that's not the case. They canceled a workout on us when we flew out to Sacramento, and they just decided to cancel it as Brad and I and Mike Zarin flew cross country. So there was something that he didn't want to play for the Celtics. In spite of that, we've watched Josh for 2 years, and we're fans. He's a terrific kid and a good player. So we tried not to overreact to those kinds of things and make a big deal of it. Agents and players have all sorts of motivations to get to certain places, as we've seen in the past. You remember last year, Chris Dunn didn't want to come here. We didn't hold it against him. We felt like we were just taking the player that we wanted, but and I think the same thing this time. I don't think we were trying to penalize Josh too much, but we didn't get to see him or talk to him face to face.
So did that count him out entirely after
No.
he canceled the workout?
No.
Oh, there was thoughts.
No. Oh, there were thoughts. Yeah, I was mad. I flew across country. You kidding me? I had to get up at 4 o'clock and fly back home.
So what'd you do in Sacramento, Dan?
I don't know. There's nothing to do in Sacramento.
Dinner, went to bed, got out, memory card.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That could get me in trouble there.
Any final questions?
As you fielded offers or searched for offers, trade opportunities today, was your intention with the number 3 pick to keep the player, or do you ever consider scenarios where you would have parted with the player you ended up drafting?
Listen, you consider, I wish I could say, with every player that we didn't consider trading players, but that's just the nature of my job. So, there's discussion with everybody, but that doesn't mean that that's our intention. I mean, we never intended to trade this pick. It was always our intention to keep it. But, no matter who you are, you're going to be in trade discussions all around the league. You see some of the best players in the league are discussed, and some of the greatest players of all time have been traded, and that's the nature of this business. And I think that as a player, it's sort of good to wake up to that immediately, because it really is a business, and I think most of them know that.
And you told Gary that the salary cap change stung or whatever, but was there any feeling of a sting or any trade that didn't occur tonight? Is there any?
I don't think so. I mean, sure. There's deals that I would like to do, and we'll just keep. But I'm feeling great about where we are today. I'm feeling great about our night tonight, and we'll live to fight another day tomorrow, and get ready for July.
You've already got a lot of young guys on this roster, and there's more coming. I mean, you expect Zizek to come. Yabasuli, do you have any sort of clarity on whether or not he'll be here next year?
I wouldn't say clarity. Those things we're still discussing all that.
And so along those lines, is there enough room for all these guys, or are we talking like serious competition for spots with some of these young guys?
Yeah, we have 17-man rosters now. And with the D-League affiliation, we have 4 affiliate players also, and we're paying more and more attention to the development league and the Gatorade League, and trying to get players to improve. And we've seen throughout the last 5 to 10 years a lot of players that are drafted in the second round. We have our leading scorer on the one of the best scorers in Celtics history that was a 60th pick in the draft, and so every draft pick matters, and every guy that comes to summer league and it matters. And but yeah, there's a lot more players in the pool of rosters on every team in the league, and yeah, we have a lot of young players that we have rights to. Yeah.
Guys who didn't get their name called tonight, is there a good awareness among players of the G League or different professional leagues in different countries that might be the second or third best option for them? Or is that stuff that their agents are now educating them on? Don't feel bad, there's Greece.
Yeah, I think that there's some very good agents out there that are well aware of all the options for the players, and the Gatorade League is a great option for players now as an alternative to going overseas and playing.
Danny, do you anticipate the 2 guys at the end of the second round that you took, putting them into the 2-way slots?
We're not sure yet. We haven't started those negotiations. We've had preliminary talks with a handful of guys as the draft was going on, but we'll determine that over the next week or 2.
Have you gotten a feel, since it's completely new to everybody, have you gotten a feel for how players and agents, do they appreciate the idea of being in a two-way contract? Do you think that players are more likely to test the market for a full contract or try to go with you guys to try to get a two-way contract?
I think that most players would prefer an NBA contract as opposed to a two-way contract, but you know, again, there's only a certain amount of jobs in the NBA, and there's a lot of players. So two-way contracts are great now. I mean, it's much better circumstance. I think the Players Association did a fantastic job of spreading some of the wealth and the new TV money, and now guys can play in the D League and make real money, and so that's a great opportunity. And so I mean, obviously guys want an NBA contract and always will, but the two-way contracts are a good alternative to playing in foreign country.